It's summertime and no one will show you two easier, more delicious recipes to impress your friends and family than us. 2-ingredient ribs, 3-ingredient meatballs, that's 5 combined. And by the way, thanks to the Heinz Test Kitchen for sponsoring this video because we're using these. Are you ready for this? Heinz Kranch. Come on, what is it? It's ketchup and ranch and Heinz Honeyracha. Sriracha with honey. This is going in our meatballs. Oh boy. And this, the Heinz Honeyracha, is going on. Somebody's phone just binged. Wasn't my phone.
It was mine.
Oh, the director, producer, guy behind the camera right there didn't know to turn his phone off. The Honeyracha saucy sauce is going on these baby backs. Baby, they're gonna be incredible. Okay, let's get these happening because they gotta go in the oven for an hour and a half. Then everything else will happen. It's gonna be delicious. Be the most delicious day ever. Ever.
Forever.
Ever. What was that?
Sandlot.
Forever Sandlot. We've done this drill before with ribs. It's very simple. 2 racks, looking beautiful. First thing to do is if you want to get rid of any extra fat, you can do that. I'm okay with some fat on my ribs. You don't want to skin it down too far, but so just a little bit, get rid of some of this, you're gonna be just fine. Look, they're already fatty enough. So we'll just clean them up a bit. Good, good, good. Maybe this tiny piece here. It's good. This guy, same thing on this front side a little bit. And once you've got this front side cleaned up, we're gonna flip them over and look at the back, and that's where the bigger work starts. But it's not a big deal because really all we're trying to do here is get rid of this shiny, slick, smooth membrane that runs down the back. If you didn't do it, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but taking it off will make the eating a little easier. So here's what you want to do. We're trying to just remove this, and the only really decent way to do it is this. Find a bone, put it underneath, between the bone and that membrane. And now, the only way to get it off, really, is you take a piece of paper towel, you grab it because it's slick and difficult, and then you start to pull. And if you get lucky, it's an if, doesn't always happen. See what happens? Look at that, all in one. Did I speak too soon? Oh, now you can see now there's extra fat down here that you can actually get at. So take some of that off, this can come off, and then we do the other one. So same thing, find a bone, right here. Under we go with our knife, and we separate the membrane from the bone, like that. Get your paper towel, grab it, and if you've been living right, like apparently I have this week, off it comes. Fantastic. And then this little extra cleaning if you want to do it. I'm kind of okay down here. I don't mind this. A little fat's okay. Because we know what fat is, boys. What is it?
Flavor.
Fat is flavor. Turn them back, little inspection, and we're ready to go. Next thing, we add some vinegar, plain white everyday vinegar. In it goes. 2 ribs, I'll use about 1/3 of a cup. And then we wrap them quickly and tightly with foil, and we're good. The vinegar is going to do 2 things. One, it will steam inside, helping to make the ribs tender. Water could do that. But the acid gives it a little extra boost and a little bit of that. So it's like a double play. You're getting the tenderizing of the ribs with the little of the acid, that little flavor thing that happens right there. The Chinese would say, 一石二鸟, 2 birds, 1 stone. And I know you think I'm making that up. I have used that line, 一石二鸟, for how many years, Max?
At least 30.
At least 30 years that Max can remember. I don't think he remembered anything when he was like 1, but still. All right, in the oven, 350 degrees, 75 minutes. I'll translate that for people that are bad at math. 1 hour and 15 minutes. They come out, they'll be done and ready, but ugly. That's when Heinz Honeyracha comes in. Before we get to the meatballs, let's just have a little taste so we know what we're dealing with. The Heinz Honeyracha will be going on the ribs when they come out of the oven. And back of the throat heat. You know, far too often when people make flavors and they add heat like sriracha, it's like pretend sriracha. This is not. It's not over the top at all, but it's a nice amount that's back there. Yum, that's delicious. And the Heinz Kranch we're putting in the meatballs, as well as basting with. Oops. It's ketchup and ranch. Why hasn't somebody thunked this up before? And don't call me out for saying thunk up, because I'm Canadian and I believe we use it up there all the time. Okay, we don't, but oh my God, it's so good. Okay, here we go. 3 ingredients I promised. 1 is a pound of ground beef. 2 is about 1/4 cup panko breadcrumbs, just for binding purposes only. And in all meatballs, at some point there's always an egg for moisture to help hold stuff together. We're substituting the egg for our lovely Heinz Kranch. So I'll use about 1/4 cup of this too. And Max, we mix. I know there's people watching that have issues with this. Why doesn't he wear gloves? Well, I'll tell you what, you want gloves, you wear gloves. It's my house, it's my rules. And when it's mixed nicely, we make it into little meatballs. Appetizer size for me. Here's what we do. A plate, we grab up a little bit. I don't know how much this is. It's this much. It fits right in there. We make little balls out of it, we put them on our plate, and we continue. If they're roughly the same size, you're fine. What if they're too big, Max?
They're not fine. They want them all to be the same size so they cook at the right time.
Listen to you. You've been paying attention. That's right. Max is right. The same size things cook at the same time. All right, we can just blast through this quickly with a few fancy edits. And we're done. And to cook these on the grill and to make my life much easier, we're using my favorite grill wok pan thing deal. These guys are ideal for all kinds of things. And our Heinz Kranch infused meatballs today will be oh so much better off because they're being cooked lovingly in this kit. We get this hot, the meatballs go on, and then the magic starts. And on we go. I've given the meatballs a light coating of oil and sprayed the pan so that they don't stick. This is gonna be fun. Come on, everybody. And you can see after even just a couple of seconds, we're starting to get some color here. I think this is probably gonna take about 10 minutes or so. You just sort of wanna let them do their thing, turn them every so often, make sure they're even. As they start to develop lots of color, you'll know when you have to turn them over or give them a little bump. But for now, not much more to do. Once they have some color, we will start to give them a little brushing with the Heinz Kranch, but not yet. And while these guys start to get some decent color on them, my ribs are ready. I'm gonna go get them. And here are our guys. Now you wanna take the corner off away from you because there's gonna be a lot of steam. So be very careful. Steam and liquid. Do you see how much liquid is there? Most of that, just fat that's come off. So let's get rid of that. It's not our friend. Right to the sink. Hold on to the ribs so they don't fall in, but pour. And here they are. What did I promise? I promised that they'd be done, but ugly, and they are. But if we take our knife and we poke in between, Soft like a baby's bottom, or whatever analogy you want to use. So they need some color, and they need some Heinz Honeyracha. Go back to the grill and we'll get everything happening. So on go the ribs. We're gonna go face down first, like that. Remember, right now we're just looking to get some gorgeous color on these. No sauce yet. But now we turn back to our meatballs. They're getting beautiful color on them. And now is when they will start to benefit from our Heinz Kranch. So these guys are gonna benefit from a little bit of this, that when the heat hits this sauce, will start to do wonderful things. It will burn in a little bit, give it the most gorgeous flavor. Heat is your friend, and we're using it to our advantage right now to make an already great sauce even better. Geez, I hope the Heinz people don't mind me doing this. Little jiggle about, a little more in some spots that didn't get any. Wow, these guys can just be left alone to finish off. The smell coming off those meatballs is insane. Let's have a look at our ribs. So carefully, but first, do you see this? Do you see how the bones are all pulling away from the meat? That tells you your ribs are at the perfect spot. So we'll carefully turn these guys. Uh-oh, lost the bone. That is not a bad thing. And this one. Now that we have some color, now that it's been face side down, now we start to give it the love that it deserves, and that means we start painting with our Heinz Honeyracha. Look at how thick and gorgeous that is. And it's almost translucent-ish, if that's a word. And on we go. Just beautiful, gorgeous, thick and rich and spicy and sweet. Everything ribs should be. Oh, and wait till you see what happens when these guys get flipped over and this amazing sauce starts to get the benefit of the flame, burning it in a little bit to the ribs. Gorgeous ribs. The Sriracha will give it the heat, and the honey will mellow everything out, making the world's most beautiful single combination that you could use on ribs ever. You've got everything going on in one container. All right, now we turn the ribs. Are you ready, Max? Uh-oh, I sense something's gonna happen here. See, it's happening. I'm okay with that though. Now it looks like a archaeological dig where they found dinosaur bones, right? We're just finishing. We'll give the back a little bit. Of course, it's less important than the top side, but we'll still do it because we care about all of the ribs, not just the top. But the gorgeousness happens when I start to flip them over. I think I'm ready to do that. Yep. Let's try and flip these guys and not break them. Nice. This is what you want. That is flavor. Those marks are flavor, folks. I've said it before. If these marks and cooking outdoors didn't make a difference, we'd cook everything in a microwave. But it's not just about heating. It's about what the flames do to the food. Oh my gosh. Maxie, 20 seconds and everything's coming off. Are we ready? Here we go. And to keep these guys whole, I've got my giant Samla cooking guy spatula that somebody made for me years ago. And we're off. Meatballs? Hello, lovely meatballs. And let's have a little extra Heinz Kranch on the side for dipping. Fill this guy up a bit. Look how beautiful. And now the ribs. One, oh my. I believe we've done some good work here today. And two. And I say we pour ourselves a little extra Heinz Honeyracha to go with them. Put this guy right here. I just love the way this looks. It's just so pretty. And now the only other thing, just a little bit of green onion on top of these guys. And to make life easy for your guests, some skewers. Just a few, not every one. You will expect that Uncle Alan is going to have a couple. He can use the same skewer. It's going to be fine, isn't it? Whether you're serving these hot right off the grill or at room temp, you're still going to be a star. Ta-da! Let's do this. Now, let's inspect. Let's check out what these new unique flavor combinations from Heinz have done for us. They've helped us make amazing grilled appetizer meatballs with nothing more than a little panko and the Heinz Kranch inside and basted while they were grilling. Can't wait. And our ribs. Luscious, beautiful baby backs. And brushed oh so gently with the Heinz Honeyracha. They're sweet, they're tangy, they're spicy. They're just a backyard griller's dream. So now we eat. And we must begin with a Heinz Kranch meatball. Grilled, appetizer size, perfect. Here we are at the moment of truth with my little meatball. We dip, just a little extra, and we bite. Look. Crispy on the outside. Tender on the inside because we kept them moving. And just that right amount of ketchup and ranch has influenced these so darn beautifully. Let me tell you what the play is. Whatever you're grilling, you get these guys done in advance. Now you got appetizers to keep your hordes, socially distant hordes, happy while they're waiting for the main event. But now, the ribs. So now let's come back here and look at these guys. Look at how gorgeous they are. A little piece of bone here. So we just get rid of that part. Look how beautiful. So now look at, watch. Oh, just the bone by itself. Maybe we get some meat this time. Here we go. Come on. Oh, it's hot. It's gorgeous. It's amazing. And I want a bite in the worst way. So I'm going to have a bite. Oh. I'm just over the moon with excitement. Sticky. Sweet. You get that little back throat Sriracha heat. Oh, they're so tender. Best way to cook them. In the oven, you roast them. Don't boil them. Jeez. They're really sticky. Don't boil them. You hear about people doing that. Don't let your next door neighbor, Eddie, tell you, you're doing it all wrong. Boil them. I say you boil them, you boil away the flavor. You roast them, you're adding flavor. And then when you add the Honeyracha and nothing else, it's crazy delicious. What are we about here? We're about showing you how to make great food that goes together simply, easily, and quickly. You can't get it any easier than this. 2 sauces made this stuff so much better. I would like to thank the Heinz Test Kitchen for sponsoring today's video. And so would my stomach. And these boys' stomachs in the next couple of minutes. Thank you, Heinz. Everybody say thank you, Heinz.
Thank you, Heinz.
There you go. We'll see you guys. Try Heinz Honeyracha and Heinz Kranch. It's in a store. Get your hands on it and do this. Because if you don't, I will come looking for you with this little now bare empty rib.